Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the reality of social connections among older people. Um, um, there is assumption that social connections are either the same or better in low and middle income countries. At least at the time of this study, which was concluded 2 years ago. But I believe in the presentation by Dr. Chris Mecton, you saw that the Gallup survey showing this is not the case. Perhaps I should give you a background just to know how I came to this point. There was some observations from previous work I did that for the people of the same age, those who migrated to the UK may have a lower health outcome compared to someone who just arrived to the UK for the same age group, for the same ethnicity. And that was, as I mentioned, it was observation from previous work, but I wasn't sure this is reality or not. It could be a deceiving sample. However, at the time of COVID, a study showed that this is the case. But didn't give an explanation. So I did some work in relation to reducing the health, in relation first to identify where is this coming from, and also reducing the health inequality between the ethnic minorities and the white majority in UK for the older people. And for this reason, I sought to try to put all the assumptions in within a mathematical framework in order to understand what's happening. So I looked at the WHO definition, or Decades of Healthy Aging, 2020, how they define healthy aging. I looked at all the literature available to me. I looked at the determinants of socioeconomic determinants of health. I looked at this encyclopedia for psychotherapists in America of how to define the life course for a migrant, because for migration, life course is not in the normal life course doesn't represent it. It's like an accumulation of life course. So I looked at the one which was used to teach the psychotherapist or train the psychotherapist in how to deal with the Latino migrants. And then I started to build a realistic age structure model. It's actually a model like to try to simulate the whole population and how this and if you started to put an idea or health intervention, how this diffuse within the whole population now and in the future. And at this point, I came to a very big surprise because at that time, there was the data that became available. There are some data that, this is the data in aggregated form. This data became available in the epidemiologist research. And it's about social connections. Without going into big details, I can just mention to you quickly that, for example, for someone in UK, white majority, the daily contact rate for someone at the oldest age group will be, let's say, meeting 2 people, for example, during the day. And by meeting people is not just saying hi or hello, but like have a conversation, a hug and small talk. So it's actual daily contact rate. If you are interested in this matrix, it's on the vertical side. This is the age group for the people who been subject to the survey, and on the horizontal, this is which age group this person has been in contact with. So this is from actually a very large European project called Polymod project. It's an epidemiology project for the communicable diseases, and but the daily contact rate is just a survey of the average daily contact rate. Then team from this project did an estimation for what would be in India, Pakistan, and Turkey. The reason for choosing these three ethnicity groups when I came to do this work, majority of ethnic minorities in UK, number one is India, and there's also Pakistan. There's other minorities, but I choose this for some previous research reasons. And Turkey is a large ethnic minority in Europe, not in UK, but it's in Europe. But I also have experience in dealing with aging in Turkey from previous work. And if you, for example, if you look at the top right column in the edge of this matrix, top right corner, it's almost the daily contact rate for someone from India or Pakistan is 0. In Turkey is 0.7, so almost don't exist. So, okay, so what does this mean? First question was, is there any demographic statistics that can explain this? For example, the age of widowing. So I had a look at the life expectancy and the mean age at first marriage, and to try to estimate the likely lonely years and the most right, the very right column. But this didn't explain, it's not consistent with the average daily rate in the matrices. So this is not the case. So obviously there's other reasons why the average daily contact rate is very low in low and middle income countries in compared to other countries, European, for example, like UK. That was, as I mentioned, India, Pakistan, and Turkey. So for the purpose of today, I rerun the same analysis in Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and I put UK again. And unfortunately, it's even less. So in Egypt and Jordan, Egypt 0.3, this is nearly 0. And also we need to bear in mind that for some people, they may meet, the daily contact rate is high, so they contribute to that, but for maybe many people, it don't exist at the older age group, which is 65 plus. Saudi Arabia is even less, so it's obviously, it's not just the case for Turkey, Turkey, Pakistan, and India, but it seems to be for many low and middle income countries. And I think the map, which was shown in the previous presentation, is 2023. This is more recent than this research confirms this. But at the time of this was for me a very big surprise. So all the model I done, I just throw it in the bin because there is no point of looking at this. It's a problem is so obvious in terms of social connection. Okay, so what does this mean? Like how can you relate this to service utilization or public health intervention? So if I give you just few numbers. So for example, if you plan to do public health intervention that aim to reach to, let's say, 85% participation or 100% participation, you will find that if for a person, for the UK group, the majority white UK group, what it would take, let's say 1 month, it will take 2.4 months among the Turkish ethnic minority, or in Turkey actually, because I'm using proxy data for Turkey itself. And if you look at someone from Pakistan, it may take 8.5 months. In reality, this means the intervention will die because no one keep following an intervention for quite a long time. For example, if you look under the U=1, which is let's say the targeted participation of 100, let's say 100%. The time relative to UK is the same. So we can just an example. And look under the 80% adopters. Those are the people who are going to adopt this public health intervention. you'll find it will take 211 days in UK, but for someone in Pakistan, it will take 1,793. So this means you will never reach this target. This is coming from mathematical model, but in reality, this means at certain level, the initiative or the inertia behind this intervention will die. And so this is because there is no social connections. Some may think that I would like you to think that this is not everyone is educated as a people sitting or listening to this. If you remember the United Nations ESCWA yesterday, 6 Arabic countries has level of people who cannot read or write around 70%. So you can imagine the importance of what they call word of mouth in terms of spreading information. And there are research suggests even in marketing until today, the word of mouth is very important. Of course, low social connection has very, what Dr. Chris Mecton explained, it's linked to directly to health outcomes. But also, I'm talking about a specific and narrow point which is not looked at up to the time of this research, which is how can this affect the uptake of public health intervention. Public health intervention could be anything. Could be to advise people to start to check for diabetes or for cholesterol or something like that. And this actually happened in UK, and I attended before presentations for example, someone come, say he's from a local government, like a council, in Arabic, like Hay. He go to a place and he speak in a mosque about like people need to go and test. So he's doing public health intervention. But when you ask him, did you study this, how will it spread? No, it's done arbitrarily. Bear in mind, when he come and talk to people, if he didn't get one of these people to adopt what he's saying, he achieved 0 adopters. This means he may come and go and achieve nothing at all, according to the diffusion of information theory. Okay, there is another thing. I will not talk about it a lot, but there was it covered a lot in the conversations yesterday and today, which is the view of aging. The lack of social connection also can confound, it interacts with old view of aging, or the view of aging, and stop it from being updated. And this has serious consequences. Usually people build their views about what's going to happen when they get old from how they see their parents or grandparents, for example, when they are young. And usually this come and stay in the mind, and this is how people build, how they expect from themselves when they are old. Also, people build their view on how long they're going to live, usually at an early stage of life. And what I'm saying, as I mentioned, is also informed by the decade of healthy aging. So you can find more information in the WHO 2020. And of course, this vary from someone to another based on the socioeconomic status. Okay, so back to the region again. The region, as you heard from several speakers, is going through a fast transition of aging. This means the people can somehow get confused about how it will look like when they age. So if you look, for example, this is life expectancy at birth and for several countries in the region. In Algeria, for example, there is increase in life health expectancy around 31 years between the time around 1980 and 2022. This is a huge increase in life expectancy. If some may say life expectancy can increase not just because people are going to live longer, but because the infant mortality is being improved, because this is how it is calculated. However, if you look at the life expectancy at age 60, you realize that people still in the region, this is also increased a lot. So for some, this is increased by 11 years, which meaning someone for example, thought he gonna live to age 60. So he planned his life in terms of pension and health and how he look after himself and his or her health. And then when they reach age 60, they realize actually they're gonna live more. But maybe they didn't invest in their health. So when they come to this point, they have unhealthy life years. So view of aging is very important. And in the regions, the speed of aging can confuse individuals and also authorities. So it's a challenging. One of the things can help people is social connections. It's to do with how update to the view of aging happen. If this is not good enough, that's also will be negative. So in conclusion, social connection is not something to be taken lightly. It is important thing. Because you cannot, if you want to change habit, and this is another thing, like the region here, for example, so that, people tend to do some habits that it can improve to improve their health. Like, for example, now in UK, they started to say, oh, we have to treat sitting down all the time like cigarettes, for example, like smoking. It's better to try to stand, for example, to do this. How you spread something like that, it's TV is not enough. You need social connections. Other things which came from discussion yesterday, like service utilization, for example. Even in UK, there are services in health and social care available, but people don't know about it. You don't expect this to be advertised all the time in TV. If the only way, for example, to find out about this is someone to tell you, your neighbor or someone you know. If you don't know about the services available, which is awareness, the utilization of these services will go down. So this means you have it, but it's available, but people just simply don't know. So that's, again, it's related to social connection. So it is important for healthy aging, and it shouldn't be assumed that social connection in the Middle East is good among older population. It's even so the media can show this, but this is not the reality. So thank you.